What's going on, everybody? This is the Humble and Blessed podcast. I'm your host, HBDZ. I thank y'all for coming, man. I thank y'all for tuning in. I got with me.
Terranasha.
How's it going?
Good.
I'm so glad that you reached out, that you wanted to come on, share your, just share your life. At the end of the day, this is what this for, just for people to come on, share their life, just speak how God has changed them, the things they want to do in their life, man. And like I said, this is what it's for. So what I normally like to do is I like to start from the beginning. You tell us your upbringing, where you from, and we're going to just start there.
Okay. My name is Terranasha Gary. I'm 22. I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana, born and raised. An upcoming motivational speaker.
That's good. That's good. Upcoming motivational speaker. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I came on here to let y'all know that giving up is not an option. God has delivered me from some evil, devilish ways. I was clubbing, partying, smoking. I wanted to just do what I wanted to do. I wanted to lean on my own understanding, knowing that it can take me into places that I don't want to go and where God has not led me to go.
That's good. Look, hey, I want to say that you're doing fine. It's okay to be nervous. It's a process. I've been doing this for a while now, so I know. Just be relaxed, be comfortable. So what I want to do is I want to start from the beginning. Like you said, you was born and raised in Lafayette. How was your upbringing?
What you mean upbringing?
Like coming up, like how your childhood. You have an amazing childhood. Did you go through things?
Yeah, I had an amazing childhood. It wasn't that bad. It's most so I wanted to do what I wanted to do.
When you got to that certain age.
Yeah.
And
we young, we just wanted to
just
have
live.
fun, party.
Yeah, I mean, it's countless of people that's, probably, like for me, my mom and them was always going to church. What I always said, were they always consistent? No. But from a young age, they always put God in me. So that part of me never left. But like anybody, we just wanted to see what the world was like. For me, I always say that if I would have probably had older people to really put God in me, besides my parents and my uncles and stuff like that, it would have helped me a lot. I never really had nobody to like take my hand and like really introduce God to me.
So it just came upon you on its own, basically.
Yeah, and yeah. For me, it was just I was always a person you got to show me. You could tell me,
Yeah, I feel.
but you got to show me. And for a lot of people that I've seen that love God, it was up and down. Like they're gonna tell you they love God, but then I'm gonna see you do different.
They back though.
Yeah,
I still have that problem though.
So it was kind of a situation for me was like I can have it both ways because I see you telling me you love God, but I see on one end you God this and God that, and I see you with a Bible, but then I see you with a beer or something. So it was like, oh, I can have it both ways. It wasn't until my adulthood that I realized like you really can't have it both ways. So for me, my childhood I had an amazing childhood. Always had both parents. That's why when I was asking like about your childhood, like I know some people deal with situations where they didn't have both parents. A lot of times they not having their dad took them a different path. I know I got a cousin that he never knew he knew who his dad was, but he never met him. So it took him down a different path of abandonment, loneliness, not understanding how, he could see other kids, how they dad at school, and it just took him down a different path, in that situation.
Okay, so I have a question for you. What does it mean not having a dad in your life full time to you?
Being the person that had their dad, I mean, for me, I look at it as it'll be difficult for me. Because I feel like both parents is really needed. like in my life with me and my wife, it's a balance. And those kids need a balance. They need to see both parents. Both parents need to be present, because if they don't, they feel like a lot of people that I talk to, they feel like something was wrong with them. Like, why couldn't you love me enough to be here? What was wrong with me that you wasn't there? So it's like some sense of loneliness. And I've never felt that, because I've always had both my parents. And in my relationship now with my wife, both of us are present, and I see that both parents are needed, because we balance each other out. My kids, like, they'll do me different than they do my wife. My oldest daughter is 6, and she'll challenge my wife all the time. But when I walk in the room, she look and she shut it down. Like, my wife would be like, "Come put your clothes on," 3 or 4 times. She'll play around and take her time. But when I walk in, she look and she get up and put her clothes on.
Oh, yeah, because you coming in, you're standing on business.
Yeah, so when I look at women, sometimes I'm like, I know it's hard being a single parent, being a single mom, because it takes a lot. Even with me and my wife, it's a lot, So I'm big on on that. But getting back to your question, I think it's one of those things that it's talked about, but not talked about how important it is, because a lot of people that I talk to, when it's just one parent, there's always this sense of, was I good enough?
I do question myself like that. 'Cause you see, I'm not gonna say they aren't full-time parents, because they definitely are. But you see, what my parents are, let me see how I could put it. It's more of a financial thing with them. Like, I don't want y'all to just be there for me money-wise all the time. Like, I need that motivation, that push in life, I never really had parents like I could just sit down and vent to them. Like, I always have to go look out, vent to strangers.
I get what you're saying. And
yeah, it's always a money thing.
So, and what's funny is I would talk about that all the time. I'm like, kids want time. Money cool, but it's so more important to have that time. I say that all the time, and it's good to be able to provide financially. And I think sometimes what happens is with parents is, I didn't have it. I know what it felt like for me not to get the shoes, the clothes, or whatever those other kids got. So I try to give it to my children, so they'll work so hard to provide those things. When as a child, you just saying, I need time. The money is cool, but it's not more important of you giving me that time I need. And that's one thing that I really push for myself, is like, I don't stress myself to provide everything financially for my kids as far as shoes and clothes and this. Now, don't get me wrong, they got stuff, but for me, it's time. It's me popping popcorn, sitting on the sofa with them. It's just watching the TV show. It's just me being present there versus me trying to rip and run to in a sense, get all this money.
That's my parents. Yeah.
So that
yeah.
And I think as parents, sometimes we just got to sit and hear what our children telling us. And I give you a quick example. One year, I'm not really working or whatever, but this would put life in perspective for me. I went and I was like, I want to be that parent that get their child $150 shoes and whatever. I bought my child. I spent like $150 on some Air Max and my children 4 and 6. So they foot small, but I was like, all right, I'm gonna get them the Air Max. Man, they tore them shoes up 1 week. One week in school, they tore them up. And then my daughter looked and she was like, I don't really want to wear these shoes. I want those shoes. And they was like some little $25 shoes. And she was like, she cried every day to wear these shoes. And that made me realize, like, they don't really care about this stuff. They want.
You want it.
There was something for me. And I was like, okay, God, I get it. Time. Growing up, I remember my dad being my coach. I remember a few things that they bought me, but it was more so he gave me his time. So hearing you say that, it make me realize, like, just it's real super important to give that time because, like I said, the money is cool.
Yeah, it was never no time.
So you never it was
like a certain amount of percentage, but no. Like I can't say I could sit down. Me and my mom, we go bump heads. Me and my mom, we the same. We the same. So it's like a person that's the same, two people that's the same, not go.
It's difficult.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm talking to her, she hollering and I'm hollering. We never gonna have no understanding because it's like, she always feels she right and I feel like I'm right. Now, my dad,
is he a talker? No, or
yeah,
he a talker?
But we don't really have conversations. And it's like, it's sad to say, like I said, going back on what I said, like, I'm going to say past couple of people, men-wise, I done been to. And I feel like that should have been, taken part with my father.
Gotcha.
I'm more comfortable with venting to strangers than him. And it's like, it's sad to say, I could sit in my daddy's presence. You see how me and you conversate? Mm-hmm. I'm going to be super quiet. It's like he a stranger to me.
Wow.
Yeah, I will not, like, have a full-blown conversation with him.
So, like, it's always been that way since you can remember?
Always been that way.
Wow.
And I'm not saying he a good dad. He is.
I fully understand what you're saying.
He come to my rescue every time.
I understand what you're saying.
But it's just the time, the patience. Like, I need them sometime,
You know what I find fascinating about, like, when I talk to people about stuff like that, is like, it's always, his parents are probably like that. His parents probably was more so financially is what makes me a good parent. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, my grandma was
you see,
she did it by herself.
And that's where I feel like the disconnect comes from a lot of us. We feel like us being parents is buying our kids materialistic things. And a lot of times we do fall short on, like you say, sitting and having a conversation, sitting and talking, sitting feeling. Yeah, like, and I think we have to get more into that. Like I had told my cousin one time, I was like, don't look at the dollar amount that you always going to make every time. Because if you making $25 an hour, it's not going to be a major difference you making 30. But I don't know what that noise was. I don't know. But what will make you put you in an awkward situation is if you're going to that $30 job and you working 12 hours versus you was making 25 working 8 will prevent you from being there for your children.
Right.
You see, and so many times we just look at the dollar amount and figure money can replace time, and it can't. It can't. And there's one thing that I, for me personally, that I stress is like, I got to make sure I'm always opening the door for communication early on in my children, small 4 to 6. Throughout the day, I'm constantly, showing affection to my kids. I'm kissing them. I'm telling them I love them all day. So that way, as they grow older, they're able to come talk to me. They're comfortable enough to come talk to me and just share, and we can just sit and we can talk. Because, just what you're saying, just put everything in perspective of life, how a lot of people go about it feeling like money can solve everything, and it can't. You shaking your head. Wow, just that's heavy. To start off with that, that's heavy. So growing up like that, what age did you notice like the conversations wasn't gonna be the way that it's gonna be, or what you needed?
Like I said, it's been going on for like a long time.
So you 22 now, so you young. And I didn't mean to cut you off, I'm sorry. You 22, you young. So was it like 12, 13 when you started realizing like?
I can't really give you an age. I'm not even gonna lie. I can't. I just know I'm gonna get maybe 15, 16.
15, 16. That's when you, and I know that's tough to both parents. Like you said, you can go talk to your mama, but you know how the conversation is going to go. So like at that age, like,
yeah, it's like I'm tired talking to strangers.
Wow, yeah.
I might need that closure in that situation I'm going through from my parents. Like me and my grandma, we have a good relationship. Me and my aunt, I talk to them, but I need my parents.
Your parents.
And then especially, we ain't never got deep in the conversation. My biggest struggle is with men. That's why my depression, I deal with depression. I've been dealing with it for like years now. So I feel like, my father being there for me and me getting that advice from him, I feel like that really would help me in the long run,
And I tell people all the time, like, your father is the first man you love. He sets the tone for how you see other men. And I guess we can go ahead and talk about it. Like,
not to cut you off.
Now you good. Go ahead.
He'll talk to me, but it always be through a text.
Oh.
It ain't never been like a real conversation.
And that's what you need.
Yeah.
So in a situation like that, do you feel heard? Or you feel like you hear me but you don't hear me?
What you mean?
Like
with a father?
Like when you talking to somebody, I can hear you, but do you feel where I'm coming from? Like, you telling me my father this, my father that. Like, I'm hearing you, but at the same time, I feel where you coming from because I've, not me personally, but I've seen other people, so I understand.
You feel it, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, so many people, they can hear what you're saying, but they're not really hearing you. Like, if you crying out for help, they hear you crying out for help, but in order for me to hear you sometime, I'm going an extra mile to make sure, like, you really good. You know how some people be like, are you good?
You good.
And then some people, like, they ask you good, but they really checking on you. They asking more than just that general question. You see what I'm saying? Like,
they see you good, but deep down inside, they know you're really not good.
Yeah, so it's like, I'm gonna just ask you if she good, just because that's the political thing to do. That's the good thing to do, to ask her if she good. But beyond that, that's it. So as a parent, we could be like, my child is okay, but everybody can see your child is really not okay. You see what I'm saying? And I need to make sure you okay. I need to make sure I fully understand where you're coming from, and then in your heart, like, my dad, my mom, my uncle, they really concerned about me. Some people can really just feel if you just asking them just because you feel like that's the good thing to do. So, like, I'm asking you, like, when your dad is talking or whatever, or texting you, do you feel like you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I definitely understand where he coming from, but it's like I'll text back to try to keep the conversation going. Hopefully, he'll call me to say, okay, let's continue the conversation. He'll, text, I'll shoot him a text back. He'll text back, and then I'll try to keep it going. That's it. So it's like, I feel like he'll give me that advice, and boom, I gave you what I had to give you, and that's it.
What I've done, because I was a person that was like that, like, I can talk, but then I could also just not be emotionally invested. I'll say that. But I've learned that you gotta change, you gotta grow. You can't always be who you always been. I say it like that. Like, just like I said, I'm gonna do this. Like, when you're in a marriage, you're young, so you ain't gotta worry about that right now. But when you're in a marriage, it's about compromise. It's about you seeing what the other person needs just as well as you. So I could be with somebody and I could not necessarily be a verbally open person. But guess what? I have to start being that, because that's what that's what my significant other may need. They may need a person to be like, I love you. Feed words of encouragement.
Yeah, that
you see what I'm saying? Yeah, so I think what people don't understand, like, you can't always be the same person. You can't always just be like, you know what? They know I love them. No, you can't. You gotta tell them you love them. See, some people go about it and be like, man, we married. She know I love her. No. They want to hear it. They want to feel it. And just like having a child. Some people feel like I'm giving my child clothes, shoes, and buying them stuff. They know I love them.
Yeah, that's That's my parents' way of showing they love
See,
me. And I feel like, in the long run, it, like iron heave that.
you
'cause-
need to hear it. You need to feel it. You need to. Man, my dad sat down and he sat by me and we just had a conversation and he just grabbed my hand and he just let me know I love you. And sometimes that's what them parents and people that grew up a certain way don't understand. Like, you can't stay the same. You gotta grow. Like, I was never a talker. Like, how I'm sitting there talking to you now, I could never picture myself like years ago sitting down just having conversations like this and expressing, telling my life or saying whatever. But I realized I can't stay the same. I gotta grow. I gotta be uncomfortable. I gotta do things different. And sometimes you gotta be able to sit and think about stuff like that. But I think sometimes people don't think as deep as they should. They just go about living life. And you can't, especially when you have children. They need that.
Yeah, that's a change of perspective.
They need it. Them children, because the world is set out to break you. That's just the way that it is. And if you're not getting that firm foundation at home, you're gonna seek it out. You're gonna look for other people to give you that validation. And a lot of times it's not the right validation, and
Yeah, I be having that mentality sometime, man. I don't need nobody. Coming from betrayal, like, with family, friends, relationships. But it's like everybody needs somebody.
most definitely.
You need somebody.
You do. It's tough how the world can shape our mind. And if you don't have that firm foundation at home, if you don't have your parents telling you how beautiful you are, because there's somebody in the world that's telling you you're not. So now you like, man, if my own parents, if my not telling me at home how beautiful I am, and in the world telling me opposite, that's where the depression kicks in. That's where the suicide kicks in. And I've seen so many kids that's 12, 13 years old, they want to kill themselves, and I'm like, how? I don't understand, because you haven't even experienced life yet. But then it comes that, like, they're not getting that love and all the things that they need, them words of affirmation at home. I love you. You're an amazing kid. You're smart. You're brilliant. And when they not getting those things and then the world beating them down, it's like, I don't know what to do. And some of these kids could have the big old houses, big old rooms, all the shoes you can imagine, clothes, but those words. That's why God said, your words have so much power. What comes out of your mouth have so much power, and I think a lot of people don't truly understand that when you feed into your child. I don't care if your child 30 years old, that is always your child, and they always want those words of encouragement from them parents. And it's crazy to hear, like, how you saying, like, I when it come to money and materialistic thing, I got that, but I needed that other thing. And I hope somebody really just hearing what you're saying, hearing this, because like you say, and I want to get into that, how you were saying you went out to seek that love that you from the world. So at what age was you started to realize, like, I gotta go out in the world and get what I'm looking for?
17.
And that's when first boyfriend or first boyfriend. So let's jump into that. Like, your first boyfriend, how was that experience?
Scale of 1 to 10. I'm gonna say 7.5. 17, we still young. We still got a lot of growing to do. We really don't know what we want.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember being that age. I remember about that time, my first relationship. So
I feel like it was more around that age with me. It was probably like lust.
yeah,
It was definitely lust.
it was. It was. Do you feel? And then do you feel like at 17 you was ready for a relationship?
No.
It was fascinating. Like, the world would tell us 17, 18, 16, 17. Yeah, you ready? I be trying to tell people, no, you're not. You're not ready. I can't give a pinpoint of a certain age, but I know those ages, because that first relationship shaped how you started to think. I know I was the same way. So, and they really like how long y'all was together?
Oh, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like 6 months.
6 months.
So it really wasn't. That's why
It really went long, but it had a
love. It was the other L word. It was lust.
it had a real effect on you. That lust.
Yeah.
That lust. So, in the midst of